I want Joe to see the lemon drawer. Hey you, how you doing? Did you know that there was a Dungeons & Dragons Heroes Feast, the official D&D cookbook? Because there is. And today, we're going to be making some Dungeons & Dragons breakfast. What are we making today?
What are we making today? What are you making today specifically?
Me, I'm making the Feywild eggs. See, I remembered it.
Feywild eggs on what page? Page 58.
It's in the green section right before the weird, like, balls.
This is the...
Flip to the page. What? Weird balls. Nope.
This is nope. Elven.
Weird. Nope. Weird balls.
I'm making the orc bacon?
Yes, you are.
Thanks. I get a prize?
Page what?
Page 156.
You already
I'm
got
not
to the
going
page.
off a vibe.
You already got to the page, so you're cheating.
It looks much better here than it will in real life.
That's not true. It's actually probably going to look amazing. Why do you not bacon? It's bacon. Bacon looks great no matter what.
There's no way you can go wrong with this. And we're also topping this off as a with a little drinky poo at the end. I can't actually pronounce this. You want to say?
Let me try. Parsalian's tea. Parsalian's tea.
Okay, great.
Parsalian's tea.
We'll give it a nice, good old look here. We should have explained what they are the entire time.
Do you know? Because I know eggs, I know bacon, I don't,
This is just like a little light refreshing drink. It's like lemony and honey. Yeah. I'm more explaining to you, but...
So I was not looking at it specifically because when I drink it, I want to be surprised.
Okay, then just disregard everything I said to you. So, would you like to take a guess how much I bought this book for?
$300.
Nobody knows that joke.
300 million.
I got this book for $21 on Amazon.
Woo!
You can buy it other places. I suggest buying on Amazon. Sell your soul a little bit.
Well, here's my question to you.
It is always on sale on Amazon, so you can get this pretty much for $21 all the time. I've seen it in stores for like $30. Oh my god! It has a price listed for $35 right here.
What a steal!
Yeah, no, what a steal for this. Okay, we're gonna see if this is worth it, and see if any of these recipes are worth buying this book for.
I have a positive outlook on it. I think so far the recipes look really cool.
The art on the front, I mean, most of marketing is the package, and I'm a fan of the package. Please don't take that out of context. So we're going to be making breakfast things.
Yes, we will be making breakfast. My favorite. My favorite. No. Yes.
You know, going into the book, we'll get a down shot on this later. You have a little, if you're looking at the recipes, you have a little context as to what it is in the game of D&D. And then you also have your recipe, of course. Out of the multitude of recipe books that I've read and used, this one is pretty easily accessible when it comes to reading the recipe.
I have only ever had, like, I don't read, straight up.
Okay.
I have cookbooks. I only really do cookbooks and, like, art books I get from video game collector's editions. So, I have the Snoop Dogg cookbook. Do you know that?
Yeah, I know of the Snoop Dogg
Snoop Dogg Cook to Crook.
Do you have that? You want to bring that out later?
I do actually have that if you want to see it later. It's on my bookshelf in my room. But that... I have actually made absolutely no recipes from it.
All right, well, you've seen cookbooks before. You looked at the recipes inside of it.
That's like the one thing I pretend to read.
I think that this gives you a good overview of what it is in universe and also the recipe. It's very easily laid out.
You want to know what's really cool? If you want a legal way to steal stuff, go to a bookstore and just remember the recipes in the cookbooks.
That is true. Don't take a picture of them.
Don't take a picture of them.
That's illegal.
Because that's not... Is it?
People get to the cooking and stop riffing.
Real quickly, I'd like to thank the sponsors of today's video, ourselves. That's right, this video is sponsored by Mana Potion Coffee Company. Visit our website, manapotioncoffee.com, to grab yourself a 12-ounce bag of our fair trade USDA organic coffee for only $14.99. or use our discount code D10 for 10% off whatever you buy.
So here it requires oven at 375 and a pan with tin foil on it. Aluminum foil, not tin foil. He wanted me to not use the foil.
We don't need tin foil.
It's aluminum.
We're just going to be using some non-stick silicone pads.
I want to get back to just explaining the recipe. We have
It's
the
less
latest.
waste.
We have to. It is less waste. We have the latest thick cut bacon on a wire rack with a pan under it, so it catches all the grease. But this specifically is going to help make it be crusty and like crunchy and not burn.
Yeah, do some? Yeah. You want to do? You want to talk about your cooking ability right now?
Your cooking ability? Yeah. You want to talk about your cooking ability?
Yeah.
When's the last time you used the kitchen?
Sorry.
Alright, so now specifically we have to do the drizzle that's going to go onto the bacon to make it nice and... What's so funny?
I just saw you sight read the book.
I did. This is going to go onto the bacon once it's done cooking. Then we're going to cook it again to get it nice and caramelized. So this has serving sizes. That really hurt. This has serving sizes. Not serving sizes. This has like tablespoon, whatever. I'm not going to do that. So you put a little bit of brown sugar in the bowl. Brown sugar's in the bowl already. We're going to get some garlic powder. Garlic powder, light brown sugar, orange juice, and fresh ground pepper. I think this is going to taste really good.
The appropriate amount of black pepper is when your arm starts hurting.
And then lastly, we put our orange juice in a gravy pitcher.
Is it still cold?
Yeah, it's still cold.
Nice.
All right, and then we mix it up.
Can I see the... Are we going to use more of the orange juice? Thank you.
Is it good?
It's orange juice.
I just wanted to make sure.
It's like, no, that actually expired a week ago. I probably shouldn't have put that in there.
This smells heavenly.
Oh, God. Let me smell that. See, my problem is that I don't respect recipes.
Neither do I half the time.
Because I want to put some like maple syrup on that.
You know what?
We can't do that.
We can't do that. We're not doing it. I know we're not doing it.
Sorry, it was the orange juice. Like a demon coming out of me.
Okay, so I got this done.
Sadly, for the sake of the video, I will not be able to do this recipe 100% correctly, as the recipe does require that you take onions, chop them, and then put them in a skillet. He is allergic to onions. Otherwise, he would probably love onions, because what normal person doesn't love onions? I personally love onions.
Am I not normal?
Diesel, no, you're really being weird. Diesel likes onions, right? So normally the recipe would require that you soften an onion in a skillet and then slowly add the egg mixture, which would be parsley, mint, I believe, Parmesan cheese, and then somewhere along the line you add the actual cheese. Yeah. I just kind of memorized the recipe instead of
good for you.
sight reading it like a nerd.
I'm trying to be truthful to the book.
Would you believe me if I said I loved you more than anyone in the world?
A little bit, I would.
So basically what's going to happen is, instead of doing it in the skillet and then cooking it or whatever on the stove, I'm just going to directly put it into a pre-greased pan and then throw it in the oven like that, since we're basically skipping the onion step, and we might as well just make a frittata in the oven instead of waste a pan, since we can't put onions in it. So I'm going to go get a bigger... No, I'll just save the bowl. I'll just crack it right into the thing.
Good.
Watch this. Preheat the oven to 400 degrees with a rack in the middle of the oven. In a bowl, put together the eggs, Parmesan cheese, herbs, salt, and a few grinds of pepper until uniformly blended. Word of the day is homogeneity. So I'm going to cut the cheese real quickly. This is a beautiful spread of cheese that I've grocered myself. There's some Gouda, Munster cheese, pepper jack cheese, cheddar cheese.
I'm a fan of the cheddar.
God, can you imagine playing a game of poker but with cheese slices?
Can we do that?
No.
We're a tabletop channel. Bacon's done.
Bacon's done. You're a wimp that doesn't know how to use a washcloth.
Oh, it still needs time.
Go ahead and put it back in the oven. I just want to flex on ya.
2 minutes. I just need 2 minutes. Start. What? Minute 30.
Why would you cut to open it? What are you doing?
It's just easier.
He's adding calcium to it.
You would not know if there was eggshells in here, man.
Well, I would because I see that you did it like this.
Well, no, because now you're gonna be like, I bet there's eggshells in
I
it.
can
But if
see
I didn't,
the eggshells.
I'm picking them out.
Hey,
Still in there.
there's still
Shut
a lot.
the
Do you want help?
No, why would don't put your hands in this? It's gross. Now it's just a matter of getting the small pieces. So I put it in a greased pan this time. I also I also got a smaller one because, you know, when you eat an egg bake, the last thing you want to do is eat something that's like the width of a dinner plate. Oh, that made you laugh. Good to know. You know, I prefer like, you know, this is
Joey,
better.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you're supposed to scramble the eggs. Like,
You know, the funny thing about scrambling eggs is you can do it whenever.
my mistake.
But yeah, it really doesn't matter what order we do this in because I'm about to scramble the F out of this.
Okay.
Wow, when they said Feywild eggs, I assume that means like forest something.
That looks foresty to me.
This looks like I'm eating a tree.
That looks foresty to me.
A lot of herbs in this, my brother.
Yeah. Did you put basil?
Can you go get the
I'll get the basil for you.
That's right, thank you, I forgot. You know, I have unopened dried basil.
No, but I bought this, so we gotta get our money's worth.
Yeah, you wanna... Okay, fair enough.
Gotta show it on camera so the IRS knows.
And really quickly, I'm just going to make sure that I'm adding pepper to this because I really want to. There we go, a few grinds of pepper.
And we're gonna put it back in for 7 minutes. You wanna move real quick? Let me see. Let me see the oven.
It's cool, man.
No. Excuse me.
Shoes are untied.
I don't have shoes on right now. Let me just get this in there. It's running a little cold. If you want
Don't
to
pretend like you know what that. Don't pretend like you can feel the heat. It'll be fine.
All right, we're gonna put it in for 7 minutes. Probably 7.5. And call it a day.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. The tea that we're making, I'm gonna boil some water, and we're gonna put the boiled water into mugs with lemon, ginger, honey, and some mint, and it's gonna steep in there. It says you can take it out, but you don't need to take it out, and that's pretty much it.
All of the you put all of the mint. The mint was supposed to go in there.
A little bit of it was supposed to go in here.
You're supposed to tell me that, Johnny. We can pick it out from the eggs. We can put scallions in it.
I swear.
You can put more parsley.
You're gonna
in it.
get it.
You're gonna get it.
Run over to one of your neighbors. We need mint. We need mint.
There's a bomb strapped to my chest.
It's just gonna taste like ginger. Oh, that's lemon, I guess.
There's also lemon. 4 sprigs of fresh mint. I have mint extract somewhere, probably.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah.
I don't. Would have been great if I did, though.
We're gonna take these, just a little bit of lemon zest, not really zest, but lemon peel. You know, crunch it up a little bit. You're gonna crunch this up a little bit just so the oils get released. And it says put 4 in each, but I cut this pretty big. I cut it pretty big, so you know, probably just put however much you want in there. Really, that's what cooking is. And put 1 more in there. There. What else is for? It's honey.
Your hands smell awesome.
I know, right? You want to taste? No. Honey. Do you have honey?
Honey as needed. Oh, brother, do I have honey.
Okay.
We can put a little bit of the egg bake with the mint inside.
Yeah.
Did the egg bake even call for mint?
No, it said maybe, yeah. It did.
Okay, good.
I really hope that thing just tastes like mint only.
This tastes like mint.
You put a
cheese.
lot of mint in there.
There's 9 eggs. I'm really hoping those 9 eggs do a little bit of kicking and pushing.
Before that comes out, it's coming out in like 6 seconds. We gotta clean this. Oh. That's not done.
It depends. Do you want an egg bake or do you want a kiddie pool? I could eat this whole thing right now. I could just lift it out and shovel it directly into my mouth.
Oh, that's rolling. Yeah.
I didn't know corner pieces were so funny to you, FPS Diesel.
We gotta get these little corner piece as well.
Do we?
Do you want a corner piece?
Do you want the middle or the edge?
The edge.
How good are you at edging, bro?
What do we want to start with, obviously?
The eggs. We start
You want
with
to start the eggs?
100%.
So, how are we going to do this? So, we're going to taste it. We're going to give a rating on how good it is. We follow the recipe as truthfully as possible.
The only thing this is missing is onion and patience.
Let's try it out. Let's see.
Salud.
Let me get some on my fork.
I'm a patient man.
How do you feel about that?
Right off the bat, I think the first thing I taste is the mint. I wonder.
Getting a few eggshells in there, really.
Oh, you're so funny. I was kind of hoping for more cheese than that, but I mean, yeah, it's eggs. I think I would have preferred salt in the recipe. I think it's fine though.
It needs salt. 100%. The recipe did not call for any salt, and that's a blunder. I'm gonna actually get some salt and see how it is.
I really am so glad that I was not the one that had to say that I wanted to get salt on this.
Well, salt is like a...
Well, then again, maybe what they were hoping for was that the cheese would bring some innate like salt, and to that I say, no. Unnecessary. I say there's actually some cheese in that now, thank God. Take a bite.
All right.
Go ahead, Biz Diesel. Take a bite of the egg bake.
There's way too much mint in this. Oh my god.
No, you got to eat the cheese part first. The cheese balances out with the mint.
So, you know what?
We should have measured how much mint was supposed to go in this, and all the herbs.
I have a refreshing taste of like, you know, like when you have like a.
And then there's also egg.
You know what? I don't mind the mint. I don't
either.
Minty.
It's just mint doesn't. When I think of mint, I don't think of eggs.
I wouldn't make this again, but I think you should make it once. So that's like
I think your D&D party is going to go Fey wild for these eggs. You're just hungry.
You know what? It's growing on me, and I would cook this again. I rescind my statement. This is a yes.
Well, okay, I wouldn't not make it again. The only reason I wouldn't is just because mint is not the most accessible thing in my household.
Add something. We would add other stuff
Like
to
I'll
this.
always have parsley. Cheese is somewhat of a luxury in this household. But yeah, this is literally as simple as take your favorite vegetables, take your favorite herbs and spices. Throw it in an egg bake. Egg bakes are awesome for when you want to meal prep. You literally take this, take a square, throw it in the freezer, pop it in the toaster. That's what I used to do.
So, good with some revision.
Yeah, so I don't want to give this a passing grade just because it takes the concept of baking eggs in an oven and somehow up.
Yeah.
Out of
Bacon.
desperation.
Now for the bacon. So, I'm going to take a little piece.
You deserve it.
I do.
Come on,
Diesel.
Pookie Bear.
That's really good.
And now you review it in caveman grunts. Just like orc.
You can't mess up bacon, though. That's the thing.
You know what this would go great with?
What? Egg?
Our dark roast coffee. Orc brew. Is that what it is?
Or grog.
Orc grog! Everybody's kind of coming to the party, and they're all bringing something.
Bacon.
It's not like a potluck where somebody brought a green bean casserole and everyone else bought, you know, turkey, mac
Whoever
and
brought
cheese.
this, kick them out. You show up to the party with an egg bake.
When
Get out of my house.
when an elf comes to the potluck with a Feywild eggs, you just gotta give him that orc bacon stare.
So I like this. I like the way they told me to cook it. Because like the fatty parts are really, really juicy and like tender. They just break down in your mouth.
The most important thing that's different here is that when you cook the bacon this way, we were asked to use a grate. So what this does is this helps promote like an even airflow throughout the entire thing instead of just kind of keeping it stuck to the tray itself.
Yeah.
So this is in itself a different way of cooking the bacon. I'm obsessed with it.
I love it. I think this is great. This is probably... I flipped through the book several times, and I always landed on this one. Partly because it looked good, but also because
my
it
God.
looked like bacon.
Actions speak louder than words. And clearly the fact that we've eaten the entire plate, and I mean, I still want to go for seconds.
I want to go for
Feywild
thirds
eggs, just
for
because
this.
I like eggs.
Yeah.
While bacon in and of itself is good, and you can't accredit a recipe for getting nice slices of bacon, the fact that you are taking the orange juice, the brown sugar, and the garlic powder, not one doesn't overpower the other, surprisingly. We didn't even measure it, really.
It's perfect. It has a perfect amount of each I think that's more of just us throwing
There's really not much else you can say.
No.
It's bacon. You put brown sugar. You put orange juice. You put a marinade on bacon. It's great. Actually, if I had to change one thing, I would marinate it in this the day before, probably.
Perfect, simple recipe here, and a lot of the recipes in this book specifically are just simple recipes. A lot of these recipes in here are simple recipes that include just a few things. There are more things that are more complicated and take a little bit more skill, but a lot of the stuff in here is like you're an adventuring party, you're out, you don't have a lot of stuff.
You know what?
And you're
you
making
want to treat
something.
yourself, you accidentally overthrew the government of a local town, and now everybody eats from your palm. Suddenly you have the equipment to make some orc bacon.
There you go. I declare that I'd make it again, which is
Absolute
good.
win.
Absolute win. That's great. This book specifically, you want a side tangent? This book specifically at the back has an entire section of so-called elixirs and ales.
I'd be brewing potions.
So you can have anything from, this is non-alcoholic, but if you flip to the next page, literally Evermead, that doesn't have any alcohol in it, but Dwarven mulled wine.
Wine. Probably wine in that.
So yeah, probably wine in that. So this has a bunch of cocktails. So say if you're doing like a D&D thing, you have everybody at your table, bring out some cocktails from the D&D book. That's fantastic. I would assume some of these are better. So let's go if you're not into D&D. Does this have any value to you if you're not
If you're not into D&D, it depends. Do you want fun fantasy recipes? Just because you don't like D&D doesn't mean you don't like fantasy. And for a fantasy lover, easy pickup for the book. If only just because every so often a page will just kind of have a little guy on it, and you can just kind of look at and there's a little guy, and you can make your own little story up about him. And I think that's worth its weight in gold. The recipes are also, 3 recipes from a book this thick that I could break his skull if I hit him with it. That's not enough to call this a hit or miss book. There's probably a lot of great potential in here, and for every recipe that doesn't work, there's a recipe that all you got to do is change a few ingredients to make it your next favorite meal. I would greatly recommend the D&D Cookbook to anyone, fantasy lover or D&D fiend.
There is a way to link this to the game, more or less. There's a bunch of weird little anecdotes about how people and all the lands of D&D have their food cultures. So if you've ever been interested in how Dragonborn eat, now you know a way to make it lore specific. If you needed to know, they have communal meals, and they have very simple dishes because they produce fire from their own mouths. And there's tons of stuff like that for every single race in here. Another interesting thing is that famous eateries, taverns, and inns from D&D are featured in here with menus as well as pricings for items that are on the list. And sometimes they're a thing that you can cook up
for your next D&D adventure. Don't even do an adventure. Just go to a nice restaurant with your friends. In this economy, you don't have the money to go to a real restaurant anyway, so
if you're doing like a slice of life thing, the copper piece for like the Feywild eggs, for example, would be something that you could get at one of the famous inns that I am drawing a blank on.
Go to an inn, don't get the Feywild.
I was gonna say, get the Feywild eggs so you can fight the cook. Go to the fantasy Waffle House.
But yeah, there's tons of stuff like that, little anecdotes. A majority of it is focused on the cooking, so I think there could be a little bit more, especially for the ales and elixirs section. But that might be just because I've developed stat blocks for items related to our stuff. So on the website, I'm being told to say that it's on the website. But yeah, I think they could have done a little bit more there. But the photography is really good and rustic, which definitely fits the D&D appeal and theme. It all looks really beautiful, and the art in here is also really beautiful and gorgeous, and features a lot of the cultural slice of life stuff that you would expect to see from a book like this. So it doesn't do a lot, but it does some. I wouldn't get it if you're like, I need to fill up my inns with food. But if you're like really just super hardcore into the slice of life type of D&D campaign, that might be something more interesting. And it's also a way to make it more tactile with your players too.
A D&D campaign where you pretend that you're a fantasy version of Anthony Bourdain and you go to a bunch of restaurants.
For example, there's been times where my players have lots of money, and so they need a money sink. So let's say you buy an inn, and now you can run an inn in the campaign. This is a good way to bring some of the inn to the real world and for your players to experience that aspect of their late game where they have a lot of money to burn. So this is like a fun little experience. There's definitely tons of different ways you could apply this kind of thing to a game, but it doesn't specifically outline anything if you're a DM. It definitely, in my opinion, as a forever DM, it is more or less on the cookbook side, but there's little neat anecdotes that I didn't know were there before, so that's kind of pog. All right, that's it.
You still say that?
I say pog, I say Andy, I stream.
Stop cheering.
Stop! Don't, you can't make me. I stream on Twitch. You can find my account at DJohnChairs. The full link is twitch.tv/DJohnChairs. That's it. I'm a streamer.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please like and subscribe.